Thing that motivates us. It's all about contributing to our well-being, to our wellness in life. And my opinion is that if we live a life with purpose, we're already halfway there.
Well, hello everyone and welcome back. I did say to you when I started the other video, so I'm recording these sort of back to back, I suppose, so I can get them done. There's a reason for doing this, of course, and that is that in another week, I've had this very, very sore knee, and in another week I'm going to go in and have an operation on my knee. And am I nervous? Yeah, you bet. Hell, I'm nervous. But it needs to be sorted and I'm ready to sort it. So it's a bit like life, isn't it? You know, you're ready to sort things. Well, let's get on with, sorting it. Like somebody said to me recently, if you were 18 years of age, would you have this fixed? Hell yeah, I would. But I'm 77 and I'm a bit, and I'm a nervous Nelly. So, that doesn't help at all with all the stuff that I've had to go through to get here. Anyway, welcome back and thank you for joining in again. And this week, for this week's video, I want to talk about more great ideas. And is your idea a great one? We talked about that in the last session. And is it a good one? I mean, is it a good idea? Well, if you've shared it with all your family and friends and people around you, then probably not going to offend you. So they've probably told you, yeah, it's a great idea, it's fabulous, go for it, for the most part. And that's not necessarily, sorry, darlings, but it's not necessarily good advice. It may not be good advice at all. And in fact, you might need to, have a little rethink of it. However, there are some really, really fabulous ways to make money. There is an abundance of ideas, and we're going to talk about that in the next video, but I still want to help you with some of those things. So here are the things that I know, and you might have to go off and do a little bit of research on some of these. You might have to have a little think about it, but some of the things that are happening out there in the marketplace and being done are things like this. People are buying dividend stocks, not spending a huge amount of money on it, but buying dividend stocks and hanging on to them and just making money out of that. Other people are doing things like renting out the things that they own. That may be space at home, it might be camera equipment, it might be camping equipment, it might be, a bunch of other things that they currently own that they're willing to rent out. What about you might have, designer bags, and you could, pull those together and rent those out, to people for night outs. Remember that all of this that I'm talking about, or your driveway, you might be near a train station or be near, somewhere where a lot of people go back and forwards every day to work, and, they'd be happy to rent out your driveway, and it might fit 2 cars, and you might rent it out for, I don't know, $70, $80, $100, for the week or whatever. So the really, really important thing in all this, I think, is before we put the cart before the horse, where the horse needs to be in front of it, pulling it along, sit down and work out how much do you need? How much money do you need to earn a week? How much money would you like to earn a week? And I don't mean all the big amounts of money. I mean, realistically, to start with, would you be happy to earn $100 a week? Let's base this on something simple. $100 a week, $400 a month, $5,200 for the year. Now, don't look for one thing to make $100 a week out of. Maybe you could make that out of more. Or maybe you could make $100 out of 3 or 4 things, and that would give you $300 or $400. You know, I heard a story recently about a young woman receiving a thing from one of the banks, and it was about, you know, if you refer your friends, they'll give you $10. So she thought, oh, well, what the? She sat down, sent out a whole bunch of, sent it out to a whole bunch of her friends, and they all thanked her very much, and they joined this thing for the bank that the bank was putting out, and $300. She made $300. Now, that's not passive ongoing income. It's just something that she did there and then, but she didn't realise that what she was doing was she was being an affiliate marketer. So there's also the area of affiliate marketing. What do you currently do? What are you currently involved in? What are your current interests that maybe you could look for a product for that? You could look for, you know, people go, oh, but I don't have a product. I can't do that. I don't have this. I couldn't do that. I don't have that. But somebody else does. So if somebody else has it, could you refer people to sell that? Now, this isn't an overnight thing. If we take a little checkbox, you know, on say a scale of 1 to 5, you know, how hard is it, one, out of most of these things I'm talking about, to earn $100 a week? One, isn't it? It's not, it's like, it's nothing. It's not a big deal. But it comes back to the thing that many, many, many years ago, I heard an incredibly wonderful, intelligent man many years ago when I was young, when I was in my, you know, when I was around 30. This man stood up in front of a big crowd of people and he said, it's a bit like the principle if you teach a man to, you know, fish, you know, rather than give people fish, teach a man to fish. So, you know, his thing was, you know, if you can teach people to earn $100, they'll work out how to earn 1,000. And I believe that principle applies to this. So if you were to work out, if you were to do one of these things I'm talking about, and we'll be talking about more, I'll add to that. I'll have that a bit more structured for you. I'll talk about that in a bit more detail. But if you had those things, if you did rented out the things around you, room, equipment, driveway, things that you already own. I'm sure you own a whole bunch of things you could rent out, bags, clothes. I mean, you know, it's a whole bunch of things you might be able to, you know, rent out. You could earn $100 a week out of it. Tick one. How difficult would it be to set that up? Not difficult at all. You could put that up on social media. You know, there's programs. We'll be talking about some of those as we go along, not on this particular video, but hopefully in the next one I'll be, you know, talking about, you know, those types of things where you can make an impact, where you can do things. Whatever you can dream up, think of in your wildest dreams, pardon me, in your wildest dreams. It's already happening out there. There's an app for it. There's a platform for it. There's, you know, ways in which you can do it. Now, what about investing? Would you like, are you inclined, do you have a few dollars? Would you like to invest? You know those shows on TV where people come in and they've got, you know, they do a pitch and the people invest in their idea. Well, it's not just for them. It's for you too. You know, do you have family members who have got a great idea you could put a little bit into? Now, here's one of the things I'm going to, you know, put a bit of caveat on this. I want you to think, though, about whether you're doing it as a favour and a good Samaritan thing, or is this because, you know, you want to earn some money, you want to add to your coffers as well. Now, if you want to add to your coffers, then you've got to be able to have some input and control, and you want to be able to, you know, you want to have say in that. So if you're putting in some money early on, and you're helping this person, then it's probably a good idea if you have some control over it, if you have the ability to input your ideas and your expertise. So that's just a little caveat on, but it's there. And it may well be that it's something amazing, and down the line it gets sold and you earn, a lot of money out of it. So I want you to think about those sorts of things. So it could be investing in stocks or dividends, things that pay dividends. That'll certainly earn you $100 a week. It could be you becoming an affiliate or an affiliate marketer with a lot of areas. Story. I heard of a young girl recently. I had a man come and look at putting up some blinds and things like that at the house. And one of the things that he was talking about was his daughter, who was a young woman. She'd gone and done university for online marketing or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was. But it tweaked my interest because this young woman liked the whole area of, makeup and those sorts of things. So she set herself up a website, and we'll talk about those because there's really, really good things to be able to do. And so she set up a website, and on her website, she created a whole lot of products, and all those products were through affiliates. And every time somebody bought, the place itself sent the product out, and she got some dollars from that, and she was doing very nicely. Thank you very much. Now, how difficult would it be for you to make $100 a week out of something like that? I mean, that could be like 20 people a week buying, and and you were earning whatever out of it. I mean, it's nothing, is it? I mean, you could be earning some really good money out of that. Nothing. What if 20 people a week bought, and say you had a whole bunch of things and 20 people a week is nothing. 20 people a week bought and you earned, $5 out of it. There's $100. So it's there for you, and you'd be earning more than that out of, a lot of products depending on what they are. And this girl was going gangbusters at what she was doing. There's just a few things, and I want you to do a couple of exercises. I want you to go off, sit down, because nothing is without a bit of work. You got to put a little bit of work into this. Like I said in the other, video I did, great ideas need work. You have to put in some work. You won't be able to build this for nothing. And on top of work, you need a bit of patience. And you're talking to the wrong person. I like everything done yesterday, and I want it to happen now, this moment. But it's not like that, darlings. You have to put in a bit of work. And if you haven't got patience, then you have to learn to have patience. And that's that's been a big thing for me, learning to be patient and, not give up. Now, that doesn't mean that there's times when you don't need to step away from something and just let it you might be in it and too confused, too whatever. Step away a little bit and get your bearings and because it may mean that whatever you're doing mightn't be working in its present form. It might need some tweaking, and it might need, some adjusting. And we all go through that. I've been through that on a fairly constant basis with Bold Not Old. I personally have had to do those things. So I'm not talking to you about anything that I haven't personally been through. There are many, many ideas. The ideas I've given you today are of various levels of effort, money you have to put in or none. I mean, how much money do you have to put into being an affiliate? Nothing. You'd have to go buy yourself some fancy equipment or whatever. You could, set yourself up, an inexpensive website like something like Hostinger. And, some of these things I'll, put in and write for you. You could set yourself up a blog to promote the products. There's just a load of things you can do, and we're going to keep talking about those things. I want you to learn more about the sorts of things that you can do and the abundance of ideas and, the abundance of things that you can do. I mean, not just ideas, but actual things that you can do. You can pull the trigger on now to change things around you and create better things for yourself. And there's loads and loads of people doing. And you don't have to do what I've done. You don't have to go out and do a squillion million bloody courses at great expense. I've spent so much money over this last couple of years. Christ, I probably could have bought a bloody house or something with it. Don't do that. Don't do it. Not right now. You don't need to. So it's always good to get more information and to get some education, but I can promise you there's ways to do that, and there's inexpensive ways to do it. I've spent a lot of money only to realise that a lot of that information I could have got for bloody nothing. And is that a hard lesson? Yeah, you betcha. So I don't want you making those same mistakes either. Hit the link below and subscribe to Bold Not Old, Wednesdays with Wallis. And and come back, because I'm going to be over. I've changed tack slightly. I used to talk about a whole lot of different things, always in a fairly entrepreneurial way, but I'm going to hone in. I want to give you more solid, workable information that will actually give you the ideas and give you some tools and give you some things to do that with. Hit on the link below, will you? And we'll see you next week on Wednesdays with Wallis. Thanks for listening. You've had to put up with me. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.